and as you guys know, we're coming up on 5 figures, actually next paycheck. Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be going over November's budget for 2023. This is something that I sit down and do every single month. I personally use Apple Numbers, which is the equivalent to Microsoft Sheets or Google Sheets. So comment down below, let me know how you do your budgeting every month. But if you don't do your budgeting, this video is going to help you a lot, just to give you an idea of how someone else budgets their money. If you need some tips or pointers, I'll definitely go over all of that today. I used to budget our paychecks every single month by hand, just because I could not find any apps out there that really worked for me or didn't seem like a whole lot of extra work or didn't have a whole lot of extra fancy stuff. But I did finally decide to try out Apple Numbers, which is basically the same as typing all the information in there, and it feels super organized for me. I'm someone that I just need everything laid out for me, and to have it super organized, I created my own columns and everything. If you're someone who also needs to be super organized with everything and have it all laid out, you might want to try out Apple Numbers and see if it works for you. Either way, let me know if you guys like this video. We might start doing this once a month just to go over what I do every single month with budgeting for our mortgage payoff and how much we're going to be able to pay monthly. So like I said, this is what we do every single month. We have 2 credit cards. So over on the right side, what you're seeing is me listing all of our transactions for our credit cards. I know that seems tedious, but it's something that really just works for us right now. For me, it's super easy to see, you know, up here on this side with what balance we had left over from last month that would be due this month and how much it was, to easily show, okay, this is how much we need to pay for this card, for that card. We just list everything. Typically what I will do is money that we already have aside for bills or charges that are basically being paid as that's a bill, I put that in red. If it's something that we already have the money set aside still in our savings, typically is where we'll put that money for bills or other expenses. I'll put that in blue, or just something to color code it and show exactly what actually needs to get paid as far as us coming up with the money outside of money that we put aside for bills and things like that. And then over on my left side breaks down basically all money that's going to be going out from paychecks and things like that. We have our streaming services, YouTube TV, YouTube Premium, Netflix, our internet service, phone bill is for both of us, me and my husband. It's $90 a month. Our electric bill, a lot of these are still estimates because as I'm filming this video, it's still November, so we haven't even gotten some of the bills yet, but a lot of these are still estimates and things like that. That's why the actual estimated is the same for a lot of this, but it's pretty close. I'm usually able to get it pretty close each month. Our electric bill, right now we're expecting it to be about 100. Same with gas, probably a little bit less than that, but we'll end up seeing. I typically set aside $5.50 a month for groceries unless we have an extra week in the month. I might do a little bit more, like typically $6.50. So our water bill, it varies. It's typically around $50 to $70 a month. So I just put the same as it was for October, which was about $55. As far as our mortgage, we typically will send $4,500 a month to the mortgage. If we can send more, that's great, but lately we've not been doing more. It's been sticking right at that $4,500. Aside from money we get from like cash back and things like that from our credit cards, it typically comes to about 50. If not, we typically will have some leftover money somewhere that we can try to send a little bit extra if we can. So first paycheck of the month, we typically will spend or send the $2,000. Second paycheck of the month, we typically will do the $2,500. The first paycheck of the month, we typically will do a little bit less because we usually use that time to put money aside for the bills that all these add up to. What I typically will do every single month is set aside $1,000 to $1,100 for bills, put it in savings, just depending on how much it adds up to. When I add up all of these expenses here, excluding savings and mortgage, looks like it comes to $1,083. So what I did this month is just set aside $1,100 for bills and just have that money set aside. That way when I'm ready to pay bills at the end of the month, all I have to do is transfer that money out to checking. That way it is already set and taken care of and I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month. So with that coming to about $1,000, and then the first mortgage payment coming to $2,000. And then as you can see down here with income, our first paycheck coming to $3,200. And this is a rough estimate. It really just depends. You know, this is for me and Dennis. Dennis could end up staying an extra hour during those 2 weeks or something like that, where, you know, his might be a little bit more, a little bit less. It really just depends. But that's typically right below how much our income is for that first paycheck of the month. Now we might, just depending on what we might have to take care of from the prior month, etc., we might end up just having like one bill and paying it with the second paycheck. It really just depends. If it's a month like this month where we're expecting side hustle money, we're expecting about $700 this month in side hustle money. That's from Dennis picking up shifts at work. The second paycheck this month, which we haven't gotten yet, I see like the second mortgage payment here and savings. I see that it's coming to right at $3,200, which obviously savings isn't something that's as mandatory as like a bill or something like that. So if necessary, of course, we can put things aside differently. I want to say that we actually already put aside $75 of this $700 this month. So very possible that we may just need to save some of it. But with that extra money that we have coming in from the side hustles, I know that we're looking a little bit good this month. We have that extra money. As you see, the estimated savings here and the actual is a little bit different. That's because I stopped doing overtime in October. So income is less, which means that the amount that we can save is going to be significantly less. And actually this estimated actually should total up to $1,300. But with us having some side hustle money, we're expecting to hopefully be able to save at least an extra $300. We'll just play it by ear, see how it goes. But with half of this side hustle money, it's actually already been spent because Dennis' birthday was yesterday. So some of this blue that you see over here, we're gonna actually use some of that money for this. He did want new AirPods for his birthday, so we did spend $215 on that, and then we did go out to eat for his birthday, $83.71. We typically don't spend that much eating out, but we actually were eating out, and the table behind us, we really felt like we wanted to pay for their breakfast as well. Just super relatable because I don't know if I actually shared this with you guys, but I want to say it was October or September. We went out to eat and we were just having a really hard time with the kids, and they were acting real crazy as usual, and someone was just, I guess, paying attention to us and said that they felt it on their heart to take care of our breakfast that day, which we were so thankful for. And then the table that was sitting behind us yesterday, they had 3 kids. Their youngest was literally probably just fussing and crying like almost their whole breakfast. We really felt for them. We deal with the same thing, you know, when we go out to breakfast, sometimes your kids are just fussy and you can't even get a moment to enjoy your meal. So we just were feeling it, like really just relatable, feeling related, you know, in that sense, and wanted to pay for their breakfast. So we did that and wanted to make it a secret until, of course, after we left and everything like that. So paid for both of our meals, and that's what it came out to. We were expecting it to be more, but it ended up just being actually the same exact amount that we paid for our breakfast. After tip and everything, that's what that came out to, and we felt really good about doing that and super confident in our decision. So I hope it's something that they felt good about too, and it felt good to pay it forward after what happened to us the month before, or whatever month that was. So that's what we spent a good amount of our side hustle money on so far this month. Anyway, Christmas time is coming up. We do have Christmas fully funded, which we typically will put $75 a month aside for Christmas. We've been doing that since January, so now we're at about $825, I believe. We need to still save next month in December, and then just keep it going from there. That way you have a little extra cushion just in case. But we're going into time we're going to be spending more because we're getting ready for Christmas, but it feels really good to already have that money aside. Some of these purchases over here, like this one that we charged on the 4th, we are expecting to return a couple of things that we decided that we're not going to keep. So this total amount should end up coming down by the end of the month. But it's a super easy way to document all your expenses have everything laid out, like you already know what you need to pay for at the end of the month. And some of these I still need to go through and highlight in red because it was for groceries and things like that. So that is November. And then I sometimes will put it into our other system within Apple to show how much or what percentage of all your money is going where. So I'll show you guys that too. You can kind of like not pay attention to our actual and budget amount or difference. It's not going to be right just because we really just kind of do what we do, and then we don't have a lot of the actual bills yet, but I'm expecting it to be as accurate as possible. It does show streaming and mortgage to basically be the same color blue, so that's a little confusing, but as you can see over here, 2% is going to streaming, and then 72% of our monthly expenses goes towards our mortgage right now. But as you guys know, we would not have it any other way. It's super exciting actually at this point, paying extra on our mortgage and seeing how much it goes down more and more. And as you guys know, we're coming up on 5 figures. Actually, next paycheck, we're expecting to hit 5 figures. I know that we talked before about celebrating what we do and things like that, but honestly, just where we're at with not having help with our kids, we're likely not going to be going to any NBA games like we expected. All NBA games in our area are going to be in the evening. By the time we get back home from the drive and everything, it'd probably be close to midnight, 1 a.m., which is just too late for our kids to be out. Like, they're going to be exhausted, and we're not going to put them through that. So with that, we're probably going to just be eating some of our favorite food and leaving it at that. But with everything else, it looks like 1% of our money goes to internet, 9% is going to groceries. We are saving 11%. Utilities is 4%. But yeah, that 72% is crazy. So with where we're at, we can't complain. As you guys know, I'm just thankful to have the money to cover expenses, things we need to pay for our household. We can continue saving for a rainy day, but at the end of the day, we know that's even just an added cushion. So we're thankful to be able to have the money to cover anything that we need at this point. We're thankful. Being able to save money is just the cherry on top with us. We're just thankful to have money set aside even for the bare minimum of what we need. So we are thankful for that. And if you guys like this video, again, let us know. Like the video, give it a huge thumbs up, and we'll see you in our next video.